he never signed it. Dak is not locked up on the Cowboys. And Marcus, if 18 teams are going to switch, that's the over-under, and Schefter's taking the over, I think Dallas is getting ready for a reality where Dak may not be the quarterback.
Max, absolutely. But we also have to remind ourselves of all of the talk that has led up to the point we're at now. Like, everybody was under this assumption that Dak Prescott would get signed and it's going to work out with the Dallas Cowboys. And to your point, like, that may be an example. That may be a conscious omission made of him not being in the hype video. But isn't that the problem too? Like, the problem is he's been omitted from getting contracts, and everybody else has. You know what else I saw in that hype video? A lot of dudes that got paid during the time where Dak Prescott should have got paid. Like, this is clear messaging. Now that we having this conversation, and then the bottom line too, y'all know how I am. It's the quarterback. It's the quarterback. And you've said that this is your franchise guy, and every piece of material you should put out should be glowing about Dak Prescott. And I want to remind everybody, because I got killed for this during the season. When everybody came out kumbaya from the Dallas Cowboys about Dak Prescott after he tore his ankle up. Yeah, that's our guy. And we love him. And we hope Dak is great. Don't even ask me to question Dak gonna be our quarterback. Well, here we are again, having this conversation. And this is a piece of evidence, whether big or small, that you can look at and say was a conscientious decision made, because Dak Prescott not being in a hype video after almost dislocating his ankle off of the bottom of his leg with a team that went through all the things that Dallas went to is a gross mistake by the social team or whoever wanted to make the decision not to have him in the video. And for the ones that's going to say, man, don't be reacting and the Cowboys doing all of this to keep themselves in the media. I don't give a damn what the Cowboys doing to keep the conversation going about them in the media. This conversation is about Dak Prescott, how he's being perceived, and how his closest people are seeing this situation play out. We're talking about something that obviously has been talked about with Dak Prescott and his brother Tad Prescott noticing things that are coming out with the messaging with the Dallas Cowboys.
But Marcus, if they put him in the hype video and he's not on the team, that's maybe worse. Like, the fact of the matter is, I bring up Wentz and Goff, right?
Max,
I thought those contracts were mistakes.
But you put him in the hype video. You put him in the hype video because what you've told us is you want him. You've told us you want him to be the franchise guy.
But what teams say and what they do are two different things. And by the way, there's a guy who's on the trading block, no matter what the Texans say, named Deshaun Watson. Like, who knows? My point is this. Goff and Wentz got their deal, same quarterback classes, except they were drafted 1 and 2, and Prescott was in the 4th round. The Goff contract turned out so bad, they had to include multiple first-rounders to get rid of the contract and bring in Stafford. The Wentz contract is awful, and he's being shopped right now. So maybe Dallas is looking and saying, hey, we haven't signed Dak to that deal yet. We don't have that problem yet, but he still has trade value. We can get out of this thing without taking the cap hit that the Eagles are about to take. Let's not put him in this hype video right now because he ain't going to be on the team.
That might be their level of thinking, but that ain't what they told us. That's my point. So, look, man, let this saga play out where we find out the Dallas Cowboys didn't make an effort to make sure to keep Dak on this roster, and they've already played. Look, you got to stay ahead of the game. I agree with you. I understand what you're saying. Like, they're in a position because they didn't pay the long-term money, and we see what's happening. We saw what happened in Los Angeles, and we see what's happening with Philly right now. But the bottom line is this, Max. When we talking about this hype video, we talking about 3 years of conversation. This is not just about the hype video. All right, the hype video is the latest
slap in the face
in what we've been reading about all of the situation with Dak Prescott.
Yeah, you're definitely not feeling wanted
Molly,
when you're left off of it.
You know how a team is lying about a player they may want to trade? Their lips are moving.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, facts.
Absolutely.
I'll leave you guys with this. Since 2016, when Dak entered the league, there's only 4 quarterbacks that have a better QBR than him: Watson, Breeze, Mahomes, and Jackson. And they're all pretty darn good.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.